everyone, I'm Trey Rich and you're watching The Buzz. On today's show we have Paige Kennedy from Netflix hit show The Upshaws, and then we have the legendary hip-hop mover and shaker Bimmy from FX Hip Hop Uncovered. It's a hot show, so let's get this party started.
Hey, what's up? I'm Travis Barker. Let's get buzzed.
Starting off, Morgan Wallen. Do you remember the country star that I guess was temporarily canceled when he got caught calling a friend the N-word when he was drunk and vowed to work on himself by meeting with prominent black leaders and the NAACP to get educated on the word and being more sensitive to people of other cultures? Yeah, that Morgan Wallen. That got booted off SNL because he decided to party days before his SNL appearance after everyone else was practicing strict COVID protocol to make sure everyone was safe and they were starting to bring limited audiences back into the studio. Yeah, that guy. Well, according to NAACP Nashville President Cheryl Ginn, after her branch reached out to the country singer in February, she says his team expressed interest in scheduling a sit-down because they claimed he felt terrible about using the racial slur and wanted to make amends. Ginn tells us that both sides agreed to sit down and have a meeting likely to include black leaders as well as several people accompanying Morgan. All they had to do was iron out the details. The NAACP president says her Nashville chapter never pressured the country star for a face-to-face, but simply wanted to make itself available because he publicly expressed a desire to educate himself. Ginn tells us her hope was to help Wallen become an advocate for black equality and enlist his fans to do so as well. We're told that Wallen's team went silent after that initial phone call, and there's been no effort by Morgan to make it happen. Wallen also stated that in April he was taking time to work on himself and would not be adding any tour dates this summer. However, Wallen is back to performing again and I guess has no intentions in meeting with the NAACP. So should we care, especially if he felt that his work on himself didn't have to include the NAACP? I mean, he hasn't been recorded saying the N-word lately. Whatever the case, we hope that he's learned his lesson and that maybe putting him on blast for not keeping his word will let him know we're watching you. First up, we have Paige Kennedy from The Meg, and recently the hit TV show The Upshaws starring comedian Mike Epps, Wanda Sykes, and the legendary Kim Fields. Danny got a chance to talk to him, so let's take a look.
If you see Kelvin, stop him, then call me. And don't tell anyone, I need all my fingers.
Hey, Tony's going to search this side of the freeway. I can check them all.
Yeah, we gotta find him. Trey will be here at 5. You know them thugs are real punctual.
The old me would have taken care of Trey for you, but now I'm saved and Trey's gonna kill you. Ain't God funny?
Hey Paige, congratulations on being #1 on Netflix with your new show, The Upshaws. How is it different from past TV sitcoms?
The authenticity, I think, because this goes back to, the Sanford and Sons, the Martins, where you had blue collar workers that are from the inner city and their stories and their lives, and I think somewhere along it took a turn and we wanted to show the other aspect of black excellence, where the doctors, the lawyers, the people who live in nice homes and they speak well, and so I think we've kind of been watching those shows, and this one kind of just goes back to this blue collar family who don't have it all together. They don't have it all together, and a lot of times that's the case. We struggling through life, and this puts a mirror up to it, and because it's on Netflix, it allows us the freedom to express ourselves fully, like even as far as language. So I think that's why our show is different.
In what ways is your character Duck similar to you and different to you?
I think in his earnest nature, I'm like that. I'm genuinely a good person and earnest. But I kind of made Duck a little different than me. He talks different. He kind of moves around different. I if I was going to play this role, I wanted to actually create a character, and I feel like I did that for him. Typically, my characters, even though within the given circumstances might not be analogous to my true life, they're is something that is like tangentially inherent in the characters between myself, and the role. But this particular one, I kind of made him a little different.
Would you hang out with Duck in real life?
Yeah, Duck seems like somebody that you want on your team. He seems reliable. He seems to be loyal. And then the new Duck with the love for God, maybe he won't get you into trouble. So yeah.
What was it like working with comedic icons Wanda Sykes, Mike Epps, and the legendary Kim Fields on set?
Terrific. I was a big fan of all of them. Kim for the majority of my life, and Mike and Wanda, are comedic geniuses. And it was great to be able to work with them and to learn from them and to be a part of this show with them.
One of the funniest scenes is where you show up butt naked on the porch in the show. How did you prepare for that?
Well, it's kind of funny because the nude scene was technically the first scene that I shot on the Upshaws. So they just threw me into the fire just right away. Now, I was prepared before because I booked the job in like October and we didn't start filming until January. And so I was having my workout and my diet all right. And they told me when I would go home, don't touch the eggnog. I was like, why? It's like, because you might want to look as good as you can look, when we come back. And I was like nervous. I was like, what are they going to do? They wouldn't tell me. And so when I came back from Detroit, I went on like a 3-week liquid diet because I wanted to be prepared for whatever it was that we had to do. And it turns out it was that. The first day on set, I had to go in a hair and makeup trailer and I'm completely naked with 3 women airbrushing me. And then I had to go do that scene. So like my introduction to acting with Kim Fields and Mike Epps and Wanda Sykes is them looking at my bare ass.
The reaction to the show, being #1 on Netflix, how have the fans reacted to this?
It has been so incredibly effusive with love and support. And I don't even see any negativity surrounding our show. I don't know if I've even been a part of something like this that has had a complete groundswell of exuberance and joy behind it. And, everyone is just chanting, season 2. Can we get a season 2 now? Season 2 now. And so I hope Netflix is paying attention and being apprised of how amazing people think the show is so that they can go ahead and give us that season 2.
So what's coming up next for you? What projects do you have on the horizon?
Well, right now I have an album out called Page. It's a very important album, and it talks about the Black plight in America, and it discussed a lot of things that we are going through and trying to overcome, and it celebrates us as well. I have a song on there for Black women because they deserved and needed it, called Queen, that I'm very proud of. I have a song called Flowers, where I've started this other thing on Instagram where I give flowers to people that I love or care or been inspired by, so that they can see and understand my appreciation while they're alive to smell the flowers, because so often we don't make posts for people until they die. And then those posts are not for those people because they can't read those posts. It's just so that you can get likes and pretend like you knew them, or like, who cares that you express yourself when they can't hear it? Express it to them. And so that's the sentiment behind the song Flowers. And so this is, probably one of the best albums of the year, and it needs to be disseminated throughout the world because it's very important to hear it. And so That album is currently out now on all streaming platforms. There's a new video with me and Exhibit called Set Up that's also on YouTube. So I hope everybody goes to support that.
Thank you so much for chatting to us.
Thank you very much.
The Upshaws is on Netflix now, so don't go anywhere. We have more show to go as Ray talks to legendary producer, manager, and hip-hop royalty Bimmy in our studio up next. Don't go away. Bimmy has made his mark starting and curating the careers of many of hip-hop's legendary acts. We had him on the show earlier this year to talk about his historic career and appearance on FX hit show Hip Hop Uncovered. We have him back today in our studio to tell us what he's up to now. Let's take a look. Ray?
Thanks, Trey. As he said, I am here with hip-hop mogul Bimmy, who's gonna tell us a few things about his experience in the industry and the things that he's working on right now. So, of course, my first question is, how are you?
I'm good. Fantastic.
How's the year been treating you? I know the world was wild.
Yeah, good. You know what's crazy? The wildest thing happened this year when Shaq called me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shaq called me and wanted to hang out. Like, when you still in Atlanta? I said, nah, I'm not down there. He said, yo, hit my phone and come down here. You know what I mean? Pull up on you. I said, all right.
All right. So, of course, you are a hip-hop mogul, and people who are familiar with hip-hop will know you, but then we have this series where all of this stuff is uncovered and all of this background of your experience has come out. So how was kind of revealing some of that stuff for you and really letting people know, what's happening?
Well, it was a long time coming. I'm happy that it happened because, you got a lot of people in the forefront right now that never paved the way or never been there. You got the youth thinking they are who they are and they really not who they are. So when you seen Hip Hop Uncovered, you realize like, wow, these are the people. These people that struggle, these people that paved the way for us. You know what I mean? And these people that kept it real with us the whole entire time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what it was like in the very beginning. So of course you go on that in the series, but what was it like in the very beginning coming up, developing hip hop from the ground?
Man, you really don't know you developing anything. You know what I mean? You just love music and, you never know it's going to take off the way it took off. You know what I'm saying? So me being around Run DMC, and, the fathers of this that really birthed it, me being there, sleeping on Chunk King floor, when the albums being made and watching the development of Run DMC, it was an experience that every hip hop person's experience. You know what I'm saying? To the true form of the essence of hip hop and making music. You know what I'm saying? You see what it comes to make a record and make it have timeless. You can throw it on right now and it's gonna go. You know what I mean? So me sitting there watching it and learning, you know what I mean? I just, I'm learning, you know what I mean? And it was great. I loved it.
Are you pleased with the evolution of hip hop as it is right now and how it is right now?
Yeah.
You think it's good?
I think it's good. It's just, most artists, like when you go to job interview, they put you through training. You know what I mean? So you can be the best you can be. So you can have a way to be the best at what you're gonna be at that job. Hip hop the same way. You gotta go through training. You gotta go through something. You gotta, like for instance, when I was working on Method Man's album, he'll go in a booth. First of all, it'll be about 50 people in the booth first, rhyming. We outside the booth just listening, you know what I mean? And then Meth, he's writing. Then, he'll go in there and do what he do. You know what I mean? But then you got all these artists that's in there learning from what he's doing. And they quiet and they watching and they writing. Meth could be in the booth, they'll be sitting there writing. You know what I'm saying? Same way with LL. If I got guys with me that's new up and coming artists, they'll sit there and they learn, they'll be quiet and they'll watch and they watch him and I watch them watch him. You know what I mean? And that's what we are missing from this era right here. Most guys, I'm a boss. I got my own label. You're my artist, but you're not even an artist yet. You even sell a record yet. You know what I'm saying? But you got an artist. You got a label. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we missing that artist that's want to learn and want to just have a longevity career. You know what I mean? And not just Because you can rhyme, all right, I'll make this record. Okay, that record's out now. All right, what's gonna happen 5 years from now?
Yeah.
You still gonna be out?
Like really, truly hungry for it is what they need to be.
And I'm finding that most artists, like from Canada, they study the game and they listen and study, and that's why they winning. You know what I mean? Americans in the United States gotta get back to that. We gotta get back to studying and learning. Not everybody ain't cool. Everybody's not cool. At one point in my life, I wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get girls or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't cool. You know what I mean? So it's gonna come. You just gotta wait your turn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think everybody has their turn.
What do you think for you was the most shocking part of the industry and of your experiences? And what was the most, if you will, unexpected part that you know you didn't expect things to happen and it happened?
The unloyalty at Def Jam. You know what I mean? At my end of my career up there, just watching how people fold. Like, you know, it's about my job. You know what I mean? Anything about, you know, we in the trenches together. We making records. We in different states, countries. We riding. We eating together. We, you know, everything's, you know, you put your name on that album. You making sure your shit is going. You know, and just watch how people just flip. Like, you know what I mean? They want your job. You know, the whole time. You know what I mean? At least in the streets, I know who you are. You a stick-up kid. I know what you're about, what you're doing. You know what I mean? You a thief. I know you stealing. You know what I mean? You a prostitute. You a hoe. You whatever. I know you're. But when you come in them buildings, they've been to college, and they smart. They know how to disguise themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they smile in your face, but you trying to, you know, be their friend because you don't want no ways with them. You know what I mean? Because you know where you come from. So it's just different with me. Just being in that building and watch how they turned on me. You know what I mean? Just for being great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just for being great and want my job. Like, I don't want your job. You know what I mean? Just all the artists want to be with me and it just turned on me. Like, you know what I mean? It's cool.
As you mentioned the streets, of course, that's where a lot of this started. So from your experience, from, you know, kind of being out in the world, your personal experience, tell me what is the most, you think, influential experience that you had that contributed to you being who you are today and being able to develop the multitudes of people that you have?
My upbringing, my struggle, you know what I mean? The streets, you know what I mean? Because the music comes from the streets. It'll never be no other, you can put it no other way that it came from the streets. So when you see me coming in there, they, you know, they identify like this motherfucker really in the streets. We read about him in newspapers. We know he's, you know what I mean? Anywhere, you know my story. So like when I was at Def Jam, all the artists that was coming from the streets they wanted me, like, yo, I want him to do my album. You know what I mean? And that's where, you know, the envy and jealousy came from. Most artists, I don't care if they're from LA, wherever down south, I want him to do my album. You know what I mean? And, you know, usually, you know, the vice president would pick, you know, the A&Rs, like, yeah, you get this, you know what I mean? And I usually had like the bottom feeders, like the street, Brooklyn, and you know, dudes that don't pay attention, don't want to listen, or they give them to me, you know what I mean? But I wind up making good albums with them. Because they identify, like, nigga, I'm you. You can't pull that shit on me, man. I'm doing what you doing. You know what I mean? Let's make this music, you know what I mean? Let's get this money. You know what I mean? They understand.
Bim is a bigger celebrity than the celebrities.
Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, they bailed him out of jail.
To me, hip-hop is way more than music. It's a culture. We was legends in the streets.
I want to show what it was really like back then. How I felt, how I survived.
Who do you think is the most dynamic artist that you have worked with or have seen, you know, got your kind of hands on?
LL Cool J. LL Cool J. Like, I can be thinking something, but I'm not, you know, I'm not a rapper, I'm not a writer, but I can be thinking something and I can tell him and he'll write it just how I want to say it. And he'll deliver it how I want to say it. You know what I'm saying? So just to, you know, and I can have him in the studio with a bunch of guys and L will be there and he won't be running his mouth, he won't be none of that. He just be taking in what all of them are saying. and listen to the stories and this, you know, guys in the studio talk like barbershop. And he just, you know, he's a true artist. Like, he's one of the greatest artists. And I learned a lot from him. You know what I mean? Like, me and him, he'll call me 5 in the morning. And say, yo, how this sound? And that's how he works. He'll call me, and I know he's in the bed with his wife. I'm like, he called me the time of morning. You know what I'm saying? But he'll call me anytime, and he'll ask me my opinion on certain things. And he's well off, and he's just asking me for my opinion.
Yeah.
That's why he's a true artist. You know what I mean?
It's interesting. That's not the name I expected you to call at all. I don't even know what I expected, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
What does it take? What does it take, in your opinion, and
Originality.
even just for, not even for artists, for people who actually want to be industry moguls, who want to be producers, who want to be, what does it take?
Well, it takes, first of all, you got to study for this. It takes the hunger. You know what I mean? Like I always tell guys, I said, you can't give your life to 2 different things. You can't serve 2 different masters because you're going to fall short on one of them. You know what I mean? Like you got guys that be in the streets and do music. You know what I'm saying? You can't do both because you're going to fall down. You know what I mean? So my thing is you got to have a mentor that's going to show you and you're going to grind and you got to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Like to this day, I still talk to Russell Simmons and me and him talk. You know what I'm saying? I still talk to DMC. I still talk to LL. I still talk like different people, like Wild from Rough Riders. Like I talk to different people, you know what I mean? Corey Rooney, you know what I'm saying? I talk to a lot of people just to, you know, keep my stuff right. You know what I mean? Making sure I'm sharp. You know what I'm saying? Because iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? So you're never too big to take advice from nobody. I don't care who you are. When you stop that, then that's when you lost the game. You know what I mean?
So what's the best advice you've gotten from somebody?
The best advice I got from somebody is change your friends. Change your friends. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm sitting on this couch today, because I changed my friends. You know, the best advice. And it came from Russell Simmons. You know what I mean? You owe your company. You know, my mom always said to me, she said, I don't want you hanging with that boy. You know what I mean? And I never understood why she said that. That guy can turn you out. He can change your whole life. You know what I'm saying? You can change your whole life.
So what, obviously, work ethic and everything, you're never not working. What do you have going on now that is new that we can't wait for? What's up?
I got ice cream coming out.
Ice cream? Okay, I'm so old. I need to hear anything else.
Yeah,
Tell me more about that.
Me and Big U. It's a, what's some Chinese, what's that mint, that not mint, it's green tea ice cream. It's a company. They're the biggest ice cream distributors in the world. And you know, the show brings a lot. So they contacted my peoples and they came and got me. I met with them, went to these factories, you know, test the ice cream out, went in the freezer and all type of stuff. So it's like these ice cream balls, like it's gonna be like banana pudding, upside down pineapple cake, you know, stuff like strawberry, double
Speaking
chocolate.
my language.
Yeah. You know, all that type of stuff. And on the box, it's gonna be out like a cartoon pictures of us, me and him. And I wanna put a quote on every box. So when the youth get that box, and I'm gonna tell you what else we're doing. When you was younger, I know when I was younger, my mom used to buy cereal. It was 8 of us, so my mom bought like 5 boxes of cereal. So what I should do is I should dig my hand in the box and take the prize out. There's always be a prize in the box here, as well as Cracker Jacks.
Yeah, I remember.
It's a prize. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a prize in the box in every ice cream. You can get a PlayStation, you can get a pair of Jordans, you can get an iPhone, you can get a TV, you can get a trip for 4 to Walt Disney with your family. It's gonna be like that. You know what I mean? We're gonna really do it with this ice cream. It's going
Nice.
around the world.
Did you always intend to branch out into other aspects besides music, or how did this opportunity pop up for you?
Nah,
I know they contacted you, but
you know, like I always want to see other people win. Like I always want to be that person, that bridge, that like come across my bridge. And you know what I mean? There's a lot of producers that I looked out for. Like, you know what I mean? I don't be saying names, whatever. But I'm always gonna bridge that gap. But now it's like I have to do it because the people you look out for, they don't look back out for you. You know what I mean? So you gotta, and it's nothing bad about them. They just on their way. You know what I mean? They think about their families. You know what I mean? And me and my sister Deb, you know, I talked about that. You know, you help all these people out, and nobody's sticking that hand out. You know what I mean? So that shit gotta stop. That gotta stop. So, you know, I got a partner of mine. He ain't my partner. He's like a business partner. And Mark Goldberg, Jewish guy. You know he's gotta have a Jewish guy. And he bring me so many deals like a champagne that Cool from Cool and the Gang is doing. You want me a part of that? You know what I mean? And cigar. I'm part of the cigar thing where I'm over do a show in a cigar bar, and it's crazy. Cigar bar is, oh my God, you just see it. And I'm gonna take all up and coming artists. I have a mic, have a makeshift booth, whatever. And I'm gonna have, you know, one of my friends that's in the business sit with me sometimes, and we're gonna watch them perform. You know what I mean? Two records. You know what I mean? Freestyle and your own record. And if you well, you know you're doing well, you good, you get a box of cigars. Or if you don't, you get a box of Black & Milds.
All right. Well, that sounds amazing, but thank you so much. As we close, you said you're going to put quotes on the box. So as we close, I just want, what is your first quote? One quote from you to the people.
Man, my first quote is, my mom's told me this: a hard head make a soft behind.
Okay, that's a good one. Who doesn't hear must feel is what they tell us at home too.
What they tell you?
Who doesn't hear must feel. I'm from Jamaica, so who doesn't hear must feel. So it's kind of the same vibe.
Same vibe.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, and
thank you.
Can't wait for everything you have coming out with, and thank you for your contribution to hip hop, because obviously it's shaped every other type of music and all these artists and the world that we live in. So
that's right. And let's not forget, I came out with that phrase, the GOAT.
Did you?
Yes, I thought of that.
Okay.
In 2000.
I did not know that.
Yes. Yes.
And one quick question before we go. Do you feel like, you know, there's a lot of talk about giving people their flowers. Do you feel like you have been properly celebrated, or do you not care?
No, I really, you know what's so funny? I really don't care, but I do get it though. You know what I mean? And I get phone calls, and it just feel good, you know, for people I love and people I talk to, even my sisters, like my whole house is competitive, everybody doing something. My brother got a pink cognac, my other sister, airline stewardess, you know, dad, you know, what she doing, like my other brother Pop, like we all doing something, and we all try to outdo each other, you know what I'm saying? So it's just different, like for family like that, you know what I'm saying? Coming from them, when they call me and tell me, like, yo, I'm getting calls for you, like you know what I mean? I'm like, oh yeah, well, then my other sister, she thinks she's my manager. I'm like, Risa, leave me alone, man. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? But it's cool though. Just, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, family, man. Family's everything. Seriously, family, everything.
All right, well, thank you again. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us, and we were here with Bimmy today.
That's all we have. Special thanks to Ray, Danny, Bimmy, and Paige Kennedy. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and double tap us on Instagram, all at Buzz_Access. I'm Trey Rich. Love and light to you all.
I'm struggling, no relief from the government. Shot up niggas on some John Wick, stuck on some wild shit. Little blonde bitch say she got a line on a live lick. Put a gun to his face and make it reach for outer space. Out of place is how I feel every time I'm about to race to the hood to get that good head that she promised. She said that she honest, body is sick, make my...
For more stories and extended clips, go to theBuzzAllAccess.com. I'm Trey Rich, and you've just been buzzed.